Hey guys, what is up? It's Laura and welcome back to the dog blog. So in the past week, something really exciting has happened and I thought that it is time to celebrate with a Q&A. Now, if you guys don't follow me on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, you know, all the other social medias, you may not know this, but we reached 1,000 subscribers just in the last week and I am so excited. The dogs and I are so excited. You guys went absolutely crazy when you saw it. And so I put on my Instagram page, hey guys, I'm doing a Q&A tomorrow to celebrate reaching 1,000 subscribers. Send your questions in. Doesn't have to necessarily be dog related, but you guys just seem to love my dogs and that's cool because I do too. And so we're going to do a Q&A today to celebrate 1,000 subscribers. Just wanted to quickly say, apologise if you can hear rain, if you can hear vacuums, washing machines, people talking, the radio. There's a whole lot of noise going on in my house at the moment. I can't help it. Mum has started vacuuming again. But anyway, let's get on to the Q&A. First question for today, it comes from My Dog Agility and they asked, what do you like about agility? I love your channel and your videos. I love you too, to start off with. And what do I like about agility? Basically, I like the whole thing. I love the fact that you can teach your dog some really cool things. You can teach your dog to go over a seesaw, like not everyone can do that. It's a really special sport which just strengthens the bond between you and your dog, and I think that is really special and it's something really cool to have because I always found that all my friends were like, that is so cool that you can teach your dog to do the seesaw and go through a tunnel and weave through vertical poles. It's just a really cool thing and it makes me feel so proud and like a really smart person to know the fact that I taught my dog to go through all these obstacles and do all this stuff and I did it by myself, obviously with the help of others occasionally, but the fact that you did it yourself and it's you and your dog out there as a team, your bond is so strong and you can just do all these amazing things that not everyone can, and it's just a really cool sport, and yeah, that's what I really like about agility. Next question comes from Rosie Kelpie Labrador and they asked, how long did it take your dogs to fully learn agility? So basically I did a video a while ago which explained my whole agility career, basically where I started. So I started quite a long time ago, probably about 7 years ago. It's a really long time ago, and basically I just started in my backyard. I've been a keen horse rider all my life and so I love show jumping and everything like that. I am a show jumper myself, so when I wasn't riding horses, I wanted to teach my dog to be like horses, and you know, this was like little 10-year-old Laura wanting to be a keen horse rider and everything, didn't have a horse of her own back then. And so she took the next best thing and got her dogs and taught them to jump like a horse. And basically then I just went, well, maybe I can turn this into something. There has to be a sport out there or something to do with your dogs. I googled it on the internet and came up with the sport of agility, and I was like, well, that's cool. So I started teaching my dogs all of the obstacles and everything. That probably took a couple of months to a couple of years, and then I thought I might join a club for this because I really have a passion for this sport. And so I joined a club and I just went from there. So basically my agility career has been a 7-year journey. We've gotten a long way with it. We've earned so many things like trophies and everything like that. It started off with Zach and then I introduced Lucy to it. It started off as just a little crazy hobby in my backyard and it got us to just about travelling to represent Western Australia, which is something incredible. It didn't actually happen because I decided to retire the dogs the year before, but we could have gotten there. But we got so much out of it. We got trophies, rosettes, certificates, we got all this stuff. But the main prize that I do decide to keep with me, this is really cheesy by the way, the main prize that I got from it is the bond that the dogs and I have, and the fact that my dogs are incredibly smart now because of it. They haven't forgotten and they will not forget all of the agility equipment and everything, how to do it. It's been a few years since Zach and Lucy have run an agility course, but I can go out there and film a DIY how to train your dog to tunnel video and they will remember how to do all of the obstacles, how to do the tunnel, the commands, everything. It's really cool because your dog doesn't forget it and it actually boosts their smartness, IQ, whatever you want to call it. It's really cool. So to answer your question, I did agility with the dogs for about 7 years. It probably took them about 3 or 4 to learn the equipment, but to actually get really good at it, it took quite a long time. So yeah, it really depends on your dog, but for us, I would say about 7 years to fully learn everything perfectly, to the fact that you could go to a competition and be super confident that your dog is going to get a clear round and do well. So yeah, to answer your question, 7 years.
Once I was 7 years old, my mama told me, go get yourself some friends or you'll be lonely.
I had to do it, guys. So Rosie Kelpie Labrador also asked, what got you into agility? I answered that in your last question. Basically, I was just a mad keen horse rider, and when I wasn't riding horses, I wanted my dogs to pretend to be horses, and so I got them to jump over jumps. I was kind of a bit of a weird child. I have a horse obsession. So yeah, that's what got me into agility. Being a horse rider, I wanted my dogs to be horses so they could jump jumps like I did on the horses. Yep. Next question comes from Episky, and they asked, I think that's how you say it, and they said, would you ever, be it now or in the future, get another dog to train agility? Since the dogs are retired, most of you guys know this, I'm not going to be continuing to do agility with them. I'm happy to do a little bit of agility for videos for you guys, like DIYs, how-tos, just a little bit of fun, that sort of thing, but I'd never actually go out and compete with them again, just because they are getting on in age and their joints and everything are starting to get, as with them, a little bit older, so I need to start taking care of them and making sure that I don't damage their joints as they go into old age. But if I was to get another dog again, which trust me I will, yeah, sure, I'd consider it. I loved agility, I loved how far the dogs and I got, I loved the whole thing of it. So yeah, if I got another dog, I would definitely get into agility again. I still have all my equipment, never got rid of it, because I'm like, one day I'm gonna get back into it. So if I got another dog, I would probably get a border collie. I love the black and white ones, but I also love like the brown ones. I don't know, I'd probably get one of those dogs on my big property with all my horses and everything. And yes, I would teach them agility and everything. It's just gonna be great. So to answer your question, yes, I will be doing agility if I get another dog. And the last question for today's Q&A comes from That Agility JRT, and they asked, did you ever think of competing at Crofts? And did you get Zach and Lucy at the same time, and were they from a breeder? So I'm not exactly 100% sure where Crofts is. I'm pretty sure it's over in America, but correct me if I'm wrong. But basically the whole quarantine thing and the customs thing and the airports and the travel is a lot to go through, especially if you have dogs. It's very stressful for them. And just being in another country with your pet is quite stressful in itself. So I never really thought about going to Crofts. I mean, it's always a good dream to have to get yourself to Crofts, but I never thought that we were quite at the level to get our dogs to Crofts. I mean, I'm not saying we were bad, I'm not saying we were great either, but I just wasn't confident with taking my dogs over there, and it's a lot of money as well. I need to get onto the state team and the country and blah blah blah, everything like that. So it was a lot to go through, so I never really thought about going to Crofts. But I did have the opportunity before I retired the dogs to represent my home state of WA over in a competition in Tamworth, which is in New South Wales, which is on the other side of Australia. So I had the opportunity to fly the dogs and myself over there and represent Western Australia for the sport of agility. But the year before that happened, I decided to retire the dogs because they were reaching the age of about 7 or 8. I mean, no, they're 8 this year. They were reaching about the age of 6 or 7, and because Zach is quite a big dog, the whole sport of agility and the jumps and the contacts is quite a lot of pressure for his joints. And so I decided that I would put the health of my dog before winning a competition. And basically what I mean by that is that I would retire him so that he had a nice retirement with no aching joints and he didn't have to walk around like a cripple. So if you get me? Get what I'm saying? So I did have the opportunity to represent my state and national competition, but I decided to let that opportunity go because there will always be other times, there will always be other dogs that I could potentially do it with. So yeah, that was a bit of a shame, but I decided that it would be better for the dogs if I retired them. Better for their health and better for their retirement and the rest of their life. You get me? Yeah? Okay, cool. The second part of their question was, did you get Zach and Lucy at the same time, and were they from a breeder? So I am a huge believer in the adopt, don't shop thing that's going around on social media at the moment. I think that buying pets from pet stores, like, I'm not gonna hate on you if you did it. I just think that there's better ways to get a pet, like adopting it from a homeless shelter. It's kind of what it is. But yeah, adopting it from an animal shelter or somewhere like that so that you give a pet a second chance at life. Instead of taking them and giving money to these pet stores which don't exactly treat them right. I'm not 100% sure on how everything works there. I just think that adopting a pet is a better way to go around getting a pet. But to answer your question, Zach and Lucy came from a breeder over in Victoria, which is again on the other side of Australia. So we had them flown over here. The breeder was really nice, and they came from a really loving home with a whole bunch of other puppies there. So Zach and Lucy had the same dad but different mums, and they came from the same breeder, so it's kind of a bit of a coincidence, a little bit funny. So they are actually related by blood and not just by being joined here today in our family home. To answer your question, Zach and Lucy came from a breeder and they are actually related. They have the same dad. Who would have thought it, huh? So that is all of the questions that you guys sent in for today's Q&A. And if you wanted to be part of the Q&A action but you're not exactly sure where, you can follow us on our Instagram page. So if you ever have a question for us and we're doing a Q&A, head on over to our Instagram page because that's the most likely place where I'm going to post when we're doing a Q&A. So yes, I hope you guys really enjoyed today's video. I hope I answered your questions to the highest ability and you now have a little bit more of an insight into how we run over here at the Dog Blog. I wanted to say a massive thank you to all of our Fluffy fam for getting us to 1,000 subscribers. It seriously warms my heart and it brings a massive smile to my face to know that I have the support and love from all of you guys here. I just can't believe it. I love you all so much. So if you wanted to follow us on other social medias, we have a blog, we have Snapchat, we have Instagram, we now have Twitter as well. I got that the other day, so go and head on over and follow us on our Twitter. That's probably another place where we'll post updates like Q&As, that sort of thing. And I think that's all of our social medias. Oh yeah, and obviously here, so don't forget to subscribe, join our Fluffy fam, give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. But yeah, I will see you around on our social medias, and on here next week we'll have a really cute video. It was meant to go up this week, but since we've reached 1,000 I decided to put this one up instead to actually talk face to face, and thank you guys for getting us to 1,000. Sorry, I was fixing my sock just in case you wanted to know what I was doing. Yeah, so we've got an exciting video coming up next week. It's really cute. And I will see you around. Thank you so much guys, love yous all.